And then comes the final step, and that is a psychosocial step. And that step says that having had this spiritual awakening, we practice these principles in all the affairs of our life. Now that is very true about yoga. Because you practice yoga, you can take that calmness, that serenity into every event of your life in the day.
I think the way that yoga really helps with the compulsivity, that aspect of addiction, is that in the practice, I have made it my habit to begin the day with the practice. And there's a real difference to a day when I turn on the computer and start doing emails and so forth before I've done the practice. Then it starts becoming manageable very quickly. And doing the practice, the first thing, I won't be honest, the first thing I do is coffee. I do coffee in the New York Times out of the house. And then I come back and I do my yoga practice. And that makes me feel so good about myself that I have really taken care of something that's important first. And at the same time, it's sometimes difficult to do that. If there are a lot of things on my schedule for that day, and I'm backed up with a lot of things that are giving me pressure, to take the time to do the yoga, sometimes my mind is screaming, don't do this, get to work. And to say no to that, and to say, I'm going to do this practice first. I'm going to take care of my body first. And take care of my spiritual life first. Has given me, I think it's really kind of the answer to compulsivity, because yeah, compulsivity is about always following what's pressuring you, what's calling you from this side and that side, and to not do that instead and say no, I'm going to do the practice first, is really powerful.
I'm more present in my body. I can stand and receive without deflection from my practice. I can take that breath before reaction. There's distance between what's coming at me and how I react. And I've learned that in my body. I've learned that from the practice.
When you are there, yukta, yoga, in yoga, you get connected. You get connected with the center of your being. Then you recognize that you were living on the periphery of your being, pressing one another's buttons and reacting. Now, from the center of your being, you don't react, you respond. And your response is beautiful.
The steps are really a way of freeing me from my habits, you know. And I think that practicing the yoga poses and the yoga breath work has been a real liberation for me from literally my body, and then the mind and the spirit seem to follow.
Yeah, I mean, I've worked all the steps now, and I work several steps on a daily basis, or I try to. Step 8 is made a list of people who we'd harmed, which was a very easy step for me. It was all there on my 4, so I made my list of all the people that I had harmed, and I couldn't quite separate step 8 and step 9, because step 9 is about going to make amends to those people. So it was difficult to make the list, because I kept thinking, oh my God, I'm going to have to say, go and see that person. I don't really want to do that, perhaps I won't put them on. But I did do quite a comprehensive list, and went through it with my sponsor. And then step 9 was going and making amends for those things. And that was also another life-changing step. I think lots of people find that step 9 is a huge, huge step. You know, I made the most amazing amends to my mother, really quite moving, and yeah, really quite magical, making amends to my mother.
Once a person has led oneself into a state of dispossession, nothing has a capacity to upset the person. Nothing has the capacity to make the person, feel good. He is not dependent, she is not dependent on anything external. He is whole and complete. And so you come from being. When you come from being, there's no problem.